Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that little intro for my new series, All on Camera. So this series is just about me catching illegal number plates and bad drivers, getting them all on camera and then uploading them to YouTube. So the first episode is going to just be about illegal number plates. And you might be saying, well, what is an illegal number plate? Well, I'll just say it's a number plate that is not legal. But there are rules, and if you follow all these 7 rules I've put down, you can catch all the illegal number plates out there. So let's run through them quickly, and you better listen because I'm not explaining this again. First one is it has to be the correct font. You get so many people out there, get their cars, get their number plates, take them to the garage, and then they get their font changed, and that is illegal. They shouldn't do that. Cameras cannot find it that easy to pick them up. And they can only have one space. You get people that have got their cars and they have 0 spaces, or they've got 2 or 3 or whatever. It has to have exactly 1 space. And it has to be in a valid spot. And here is how you find out if it's a valid spot. The number has to be next to the space. You get people who move the space around from what it's meant to be. And most of the time the number is not next to the space when they do that. That makes it illegal. A group of numbers cannot be separated. What this means is if you've got, for example, if the number plate was A11, you could not do A1 space 1 because you've separated 2 numbers by putting a space in between. And you're also not allowed to separate a group of letters like that. Sorry. So if you have something like R space R1, that's not allowed. And it cannot be shaped to look like something different. You often get people putting different coloured screws in to make letters and numbers look different to what they should do. And that's illegal because it can trick the cameras. And it cannot have custom images next to the plate. This one you don't get many of. It is quite rare. I've only got 1 actually. Where next to the plate you can have something like GB. That's what it says most of the time. Sometimes it says nothing, which is also fine. But sometimes people just put custom images next to it, and that's not allowed. That's illegal. And they cannot spell a word or a name. So if they've deliberately shaped it to make it spell like a word or a name, that's also illegal. However, coincidences are allowed. So as long as it's the right font, has 1 space, numbers next to the base, as long as it follows most of the rules, chances are, if it spells a name, it's complete coincidence, and it probably is fine. But it might not be. Oh, and I also forgot to put on here one, so I'll just tell you that now. If there's a group of numbers or a number, to work out where the space goes, it has to go to the side with the most characters. For example, if you got a car A1BCD, 1 is the number, and the space would have to go to the right of it because there's more characters that side. To the left of the 1 there's only 1 character, but to the right there's 3, so it has to go to the right of it. The number of people that put it the wrong side, it's, well, a lot. So now let's get into some that I have caught myself. Why don't we start off with a wrong font? And bad spacing for that matter. SA13AH space B. As you can see, they put a yellow screw to make it look like a K, even though it's an H. Yet another wrong font now.
Wait, are we crossing here?
You see this car here? It's got way too thin a font. 748 space GAR. And you guessed it, another wrong font. Just a picture this time, but still shows how bad fonts can be. Here is one now that has put the space to the wrong side of the numbers. Also, volume warning as it speeds off now. Take a rest from illegal fonts for a bit, so we'll just go to some spacing again, just like the last one. This one, I could just tell it was wrong because it's number space number. They've split up the numbers with a space, and that's illegal. I almost didn't catch this one, so I'm glad I saved that clip. Plates I've got, this is the one that started it all. The very first one I got, the date in the bottom right is not correct. Also, there's a weird sound when the dash cam goes up and down. Here, that's the dash cam going up and down. I don't know why it makes that sound, but it does. Here's a good example of one that has a space, but it's too small to be valid. The space is in the correct place, but it has been shortened. KHA space 4N. This one was in the car park while I was waiting for when we were going to the Royal Mint. There were 3 legal number plates, but this was the only one I got on camera. The other 2 I wrote down. JH020KH, they've clearly got rid of the space. Because you have to have the space next to the number, and if there's no space, there's not one next to the number. This is a car I got on camera, but it has some weird spacing. I think the space is between the U and the F, but that is confusing. I've got no idea. Well, UF04 SAJ. The space is meant to be to the right of the 4, but they got rid of that, and then I think they placed it between the U and the F, but it's not clear. So that is a confusing one. Maybe there's little spaces between the other letters as well and numbers to make it look weirder, if that's a word. In fact, yeah, it's a word. But that's illegal though, because that's not clear enough. That's just not clear enough. This is another one with the wrong spacing. B1UE, when it shows up, B1UE space M, because the number has to be next to the space, which it isn't. Classic example of a no spacer.
ARK4Y. Oddly spaced to me.
Another no spacer caught on the dash cam rather than the little camera. Here it is.
Black Mercedes directly in front. No space.
Here's a Lexus. You don't see many Lexuses with illegal number plates. Also, if you look closely, you can see this Mercedes-Benz next to it also has an illegal number plate. M19KY space D. The Mercedes next to it is R23 ESA no space. I've got that one on camera separately, and I'll show you that next video. This one is only a picture, but it's the wrong font. Also, it's got bad spacing because it says AHZ19. But what they've done is they've separated the letters, because it's meant to be HZ space 19, but what they've done is they've put a space between the H and the Z. This one I caught just yesterday. Horrible spacing. R888 BY space B. there's no space next to the numbers, so we can clearly see it's R888 space BYB. But they've just changed it. So maybe it's supposed to be Robbie or something. I wouldn't know. All I do know is it's illegal and it shouldn't be around. For another font, we've not touched one of these for a while. But I've got plenty of wrong fonts. They're not hard to come across. This one's just way too thin. RV55AVJ. Way too thin. And it would be quite hard for it to come up. It would be quite hard for it to be read on the police security cameras, where they look to see if they're, if they're taxed and MOT'd and things. That's why the wrong fonts are illegal, because they're hard to come up on the cameras. But maybe that's why they do it. Now this is where it gets real. This is where it gets real bad. This is a Fiat 500. H9 ULE, that seems fine. It's got fine spacing, H9 space ULE. But wait till I show you the back. H space 9 ULE. So they've changed the number plate on one side and not the other. I cannot tell if this is accident or what, but it's not legal. And this is the final one I'll show you before the top 3. Don't worry, I've got plenty more number plates for you. I've got a whole folder full of them. I've got easily around 50, 60 of the things. So I'll show you some over the next videos, but this will be the final one for today. Just turn it into a little game. That's why I chose this one. This car, what do you think that is? X space what 0 DLE. Do you think that's an 8 or a B? Got your guess? Okay, well let's have a look. Nothing, it's a 3. What they've done is they've put 2 screws there to make it look like a B or an 8. And what's even worse is they've put 2 screws on the L the other side to make it look symmetrical and like they were there, really. But they've clearly just put them in. And they've put the space in the wrong bit. Because to the right there's 3 characters and to the left there's only 1. So the space would have to go to the right of the numbers, but not the left. It's time for the top 3 worst number plates I've ever come across. Number 3 goes to this one. SB, S space B space 04 space ASB. Wrong font. Clearly the wrong font. 3 spaces. They didn't care about the rules whatsoever. 2 worst number plate I've ever come across. This one. Have a guess what you think it is. I'm telling you, that's not an R or an A. It's an F and 1 merged together. That is an F and 1 merged together to make it look like an R or an A. And it's got no space. And it's got the wrong font. That's a lot.
F1 to fan. The F and 1 together look like an A.
But now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the number 1 worst number plate I've ever come across. This number plate is so illegal that I've been seeing this for months. I've had it on camera for ages now, and I can still not figure it out. So it'd be nice if you could post a comment, or if you post something in the comments saying maybe what it is and exactly how it works. But I've got an idea. I have a couple of ideas. So I'll play the clip now. This number plate. You might say, well, that's obvious. CHR15Y, Chrissy. What if I tell you you're an idiot? Now, you're not an idiot, because that's what I thought for the first time. I was thinking that for months. But then then it struck me. But how did I figure it out? I looked it up on the DVLA and it came up as a blue Audi, Chrissy. Guess what? Chrissy is a blue Audi. That does not say CHR15Y. So I was trying to figure that out. I thought maybe they'd change cars or something without telling the DVLA, which is illegal. But I realised, have a look at the R. Have a look at the R. That is not an R. That is no R. R's have a little flick coming out from... Well, think about this. An R is a P. And then the flick comes out the middle bit. I don't know how to explain it. So, it's supposed to... I'll just show you here. This is where it's supposed to come out. The line's supposed to come out this bit here. But instead it comes out the top here, making it look like an R. But there's a little extra added bit on the top left. Can you see that? To make it look more like an R. And now you might be saying, well, it's CHA15Y. And then I look that up and it comes up as a white Porsche, which is what it is. But that's not what an A looks like either. Because an A is pointy towards the top. It's like an upside down V. This is like an upside down U. So I've got no idea. Also, they got rid of the space. So my guess is this is the wrong font, but so slightly to make the A look like an R. That's the only thing I can come up with. I've tried, maybe it's a P and a 1 merged together, or an F like the other one. But now I can't figure it out, so leave a comment if you want to, if you know. We've done the top 3 now. Top 3 worst number plates I could have come across so far. I probably should have added some different ones in and moved them around, but I still am quite happy with my list. But there's another car that falls into another category. Maybe the weirdest number plates I've ever come across or something. Because, well, just having wrong fonts and bad spacing is another one thing. But this, I know what it's meant to be. I don't know how to explain it, I'll just play the clip now.
Is it illegal? Oh wow, 2,000.
2,000. 2,000. And it's a Rolls Royce. A posh new Rolls Royce with a private number plate of 2,000. Who owns this thing? This isn't a normal everyday car. It's not a normal everyday number plate. Oh wow, it's crazy. I know what I know what it actually is. It's 20 space 00. So it's 20 space 00. But they've got rid of the space, so it looks like 2,000. That must be expensive. An expensive car with an expensive number plate. I guess they add up. But I guess if you can afford a car like that, you can afford a number plate like that. It's definitely not an everyday.
That's a bit different, isn't it?
Definitely not an everyday number plate.
It's a Rolls Royce.
So hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to make one of these every week. So this is illegal number plates, next it'll be the bad drivers. Week after that it'll be a mix of the two, and then it'll go back to illegal number plates and then bad drivers, and it'll just keep going like that. So, hope it was a bit interesting to see what else I'm doing, because I'm doing games, I'm doing coins, I'm doing a lot of things down my channel. But I guess that's good. So, see you next time.